Hey, it's Edge here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for gold. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave Theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting on a very high time frame, on a weekly time frame, let's go through the counts that we've had. Now, first one is saying still that we are within this or have completed this wave 1 of supercycle, wave 2 down here, and now we would be looking for a third. Other scenario is that we have not completed the wave 2 supercycle here around the February of 2016, but instead we would have this expanded flat here as an ABC. Now, what makes this really improbable is that we have this ABC count here that has gone above the 2.618 extension here, which makes this again very, very unlikely. So to me, we are still looking a bit better with this 1-2 completed down here, and now we would be looking at some kind of bullish count over here. Now for this one, I have had this labeled as a primary 1, 2, 3 up here, 4 coming down here, different scenarios here as well. Other option is that we have had this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 completing a cycle wave 1 up here. Now what makes this again improbable or less likely than the previous count is that we have this very, very small wave 4 here in price and in time. Well, in price it is actually pretty okay, or even quite deep, but again in price, in time, it is very small. Of course, we had this wave 2 down here labeled as running flat or running WXY, in which wave Y did not get below the wave W here, which is again less likely of a scenario. Now let's take a look at this closer structures here, assuming that we have the primary wave 3 completed up here. Now we would be creating the wave 4 here, or we would have completed it. Let's go to 2-day time frame so we can see substructures as well. Maybe 1 day. There we go. So first scenario is that we have an ABC, A, B, C, D, E into creating the wave 4 completed here. Now after that point we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into intermediate 1, coming now down to intermediate 2. That is one idea. Then we have other ideas where we have completed the wave 4 already down here, but again at this point we would have this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and then looking for wave 5. Now to me this does not look very likely just because of the third wave here. Even if we are managing to place down this running flat here in the middle of this zigzag pattern like so, we can see that the extension for this C leg is very big. We can see that it is more than 1.618, which more likely is some kind of other structure. So that makes this count less likely. Now overall, there is also a possibility that we have not created the wave 4. We are still within this same channel that we pivoted from 1 to 3 and then brought down to wave or the 2 here of primary. So it is still possible that we are not completed this wave 4. Although we are having this support area here with this trend line for a few ticks here, or few of these weeks at least, is not certain. On here we could be looking at a WXY or an ABC count. We did not take the highs here or here of the previous highs of the 2020 highs of August. So again, we can pick either of these WXY or ABC. Currently, it looks like this is a 3-way structure here that would fit the idea of ABC better or a 1-2, 1-2 better. So both are still valid. Now this is the scenario where we have the ABC into A, then we would be looking for A, B and C coming up higher, and then we would be looking for that last C wave or a WXY count down here. Okay. Then we had the possibility of having this as the ABC structure on intermediate. This would be a 1, 2, 3 would be coming lower. Now this is again the same idea as we had as mentioned before, saying this is 1, 2, 1, 2. This would be way more bearish, and we would have targets way lower, somewhere around these areas. Again, taking out the previous lows here would be basically at least the minimum target. Now let's take a closer look into this structure, if there is some clues that we can see here. So basically this area here on a 30-minute time frame, let's take a look at the local structures. From here on out, we've had a possibility for a wave 1 here. Of course, previously, and still is a possibility that this is a wave A as well, B and C. So I've labeled this as a local bull, as it is bullish at this time, but overall, if it indeed is an ABC, it would be just a corrective structure, and we would be continuing this trend that is on higher time frame, doing something like this downwards. Okay, so here we have a leading diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 1 or A, then some kind of a three-way structure here, possibly ending down here with an ABC. Expand a flat here. So again, both these scenarios are still okay, and we would only know when we are getting this pump up here of how high we are getting here. We can then analyze if this is more likely to be a 1 or A, but at the moment both are still open. Now the only issue with this count is how much time it took to create this wave 2 or a wave B. If we are comparing that structure to this first one, we can see that it has taken more than 2, basically 2.5 times. Let's see if that fits well in here. Not quite. 2.3, 236. Well, close enough. 2.236 times of the wave 1 for the wave 2 or the wave B. So it is not likely that wave 2s take this much time. So that's why we have other scenarios here as well. The bear scenario is pretty much, one of them is pretty much the same, in which we have this at ABC into W, ABC here into X. In here we have an ABC in the B wave to create this, again, expanding flat in B wave. Then we have 5 waves here in C, completing something up here or down here, possibly. We're not completely sure that this is the end, but we do have some kind of bullish divergence here, and we could be saying that 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to create a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure. Let me label it something like this. And now we would be completed the X and then going higher. Now we would be expecting wave Y to come up at least beyond the W here, most likely taking out the highs here, if this is still the case. But again, it is not that likely, just because we don't have the time in our favor, or in our side, I guess. Then we have this local bearish alternate, in which we have A, B, and C here, into W, ABC into X, and then another ABC into wave Y. In this case, we would have completed this whole correction already up here, and now we would be looking into something else. This is a very impulsive structure coming down. Again, we would be thinking this as a 5-way structure, pivoting from here. So either we are creating some kind of a pullback that is related to this, or something that were comparable to those on the previous counts. So if indeed this is a new count, we could be looking to correct more downwards, so continuing this trend here. So where would we look for short setups? Well, we already had one place to look for them, and that was right here at the 0.5. We did not really have too much structural support except these highs here, or these well, lows, I guess, at this point. Let's take a look at the volume, not VWAP, a volume. There we go. We can see that volume has started to pick up here. So if indeed we have not completed a three-way structure here, or if this three-way structure is not enough to correct this structure here coming down, then we would be creating another three-way structure down and then 5 up maybe, if this is indeed a ABC. Currently in time, let's take a look. We have not used the one-to-one extension yet. So it is still possible that we are going to be creating this structure here, something like this, to get closer to this golden pocket here, where we have more volume as well. But again, it is already possible that this has ended and this was some kind of a zigzag pattern right into the 0.5 fib, and now we would be continuing downwards. But yeah, short setup for here for sure. I'm going to set my alarm on top of this 0.5 here and see if that triggers. Then we can take a closer look again on more setups, at least on Discord. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to share today. If you have other accounts you would like to share, there's a link to my Discord server in the description below. Also, if you would like me to update certain other assets, let me know in the comments below. But for now, I thank you for watching and hopefully see you on the next video as well. Bye bye.